All right, we are on to chapter 7, and we have talked about multiplying binomials. We have multiplied like a binomial times a trinomial. I have given you sample problems of perfect square trinomials, which is where you have the same thing over again. And then we have something else, difference of two squares. And that's where I have a positive and a negative. So today I'm going to factor, and I'm going to have a common number or variable to pull out. Students will be able to factor using greatest common factor. Greatest common factor means the largest number that. So I'm going to do first that goes into all terms. GCF means greatest common factor. This is definitely something that you would have seen in elementary school and possibly a little bit in junior high, where they slowly start to talk about, think of a number that goes into both of these. And we're going to do that today, but we're going to divide it out of a polynomial. So let's look at 12 and 40. This is how your teachers would have taught you to do it back in elementary school. You look at 12 and you say, what are the factors of 12? A factor is a small number. So tell me, what numbers you guys go into 12? Start small, little, less. Two. What else goes into 12? Something else. 3. You're right with the 4. And then 6. And of course, 12 goes into itself. Okay, then, what about 40? Start small. Factors are small numbers. Something less than 5. Something less than 4. 2. But I like the 4 and I like the 5. So we're thinking of all these little numbers that divide into 40. Okay, 2, 4, and 5. 8 goes into 40. You guys need to be good at multiplication for this, huh? 10. What else? Okay, not just, he can't do it all, guys. Thank you for though. 20. Okay. So now I have, and itself. So now I look at my list and I say, what's the biggest that's in common? What's the greatest that's in common? So I'll just start at like the ends. 12, 6, 4, 8. Anything? What's the biggest number that goes into both of those? 4. Do you see that? So the GCF would be 4. Okay. Now for 4x and 7x, 4 and 7 have nothing in common. But they both have an x. Okay, 4 and 7 have nothing in common, none. But x, they both have an x to the first power, right? So the only GCF for 4x and 7x is x. So what happens in algebra, this is like elementary school method that I'm doing on this paper right now. What happens in algebra is this. I would get a 4x and a 7x, but I would factor out, let's say they were 4x plus 7x. I would factor out an x, and then I would only have inside 4 plus 7 left. That's what we're doing in Algebra 1. So we're bumping it up a level. Okay. 25x squared and 30x to the third. So let's do 25 and 30. Or can you guys just think of it? They're so close together, there's not that many choices. And then I'm going to go x squared and x to the third. Okay. 25 is what? There's not very much that goes into 25, you guys. 5 and itself. Okay. What about 35? What goes into 35? 5 and 7. Oh, I don't know. Is it 30? Oh. Yeah. 30. Ooh. I have numbers smaller than 5 that go into 30. What goes into 30? 2, 3. What is it? 5, 6, 10. What's half of 30? 15 and itself 30. Wow. What's the greatest common factor of these? What number is in both 25 and 30? 5. So far, 5 is the GCF for the numbers. Now I have to look at the variables. How many x's do they both have? 2. So my answer is 5x squared. 5x squared goes into 25x squared, and 5x squared goes into 30x cubed. Let me do it on the side of the paper. If I had them 25x squared plus 30x cubed, I would take out a 5 and an x squared. And then I'd say, okay, what's left? So, what's 5 divided out of this 25? 5, so 25 divided by 5. 5. What's x squared divided out of x squared? Nothing. It's itself. I'm not going to put a 1 though. Plus sign. So I don't even need to put an x there. What's 5 divided out of 30? 30 divided by 5. 6. Okay. 5 divided out of 30 is 6. What's x squared divided out of x cubed? I have x cubed and I take 2 of them away. How many are left? Everyone needs to be clear on this. I have x cubed, x, and I take an x squared, x, out of it. How many x's are still there hanging out? An x. And then I would close my parentheses because I'm done dividing out. This is the answer that we're looking for, this 5x squared times the quantity 5 plus 6x. Okay, so when I factor out, I'm taking out or I'm dividing out the greatest common factor. So I'm going to go now and slowly go through these because I need to figure out what is the common factor, and then I need to have a parentheses with like the leftovers. The parentheses lists what's still there, what's left over. So 6a and 30. 6 and 30. You have to think of it in your head. I don't want to make lists all day. We're too old for that. 6 and 30. What number, small number goes into 6 and 30? 2 does. 3 does. What else? Is there any biggest? The biggest one, the greatest. 6 goes into both of them. Okay, do they both have an A? No, they don't have an A. So I can't even take out an A. All I can take out is a 6. So I'm going to do 6 parentheses. All right. What's 6A with the 6 divided out of it? What's still left? I have 6A and I take a 6 out of it. Everyone tell your neighbor, I have a 6A and I take a 6 out of it. What's still there? Are you all clear on that, the A? The sign stays. It's a minus sign. What's 30 divided out of 6? What's still left? Division. It's this division. This is not subtraction or adding. You said we're saying 5 because 6 times 5 is 30? Okay. And you're done. That's it. If you want to check just to make sure 6A minus 30, you can do it in your head by distributing. But I don't want you to write down the 6A minus 30. We already did that. Number 5, 7x minus 7y minus 7z. What's a common, either a number or a variable that's in common? 7. So I'm going to write a 7. And then the parentheses has all my leftovers. Seven x with a 7 divided out is what? Just the x. I have to put the subtraction sign. 7y with a 7 divided out. Just a y. Good. And then I have to put my subtraction sign after. 7z with a 7 divided out. Z. Good. 6. Totally different. 33p plus 55. So I'm looking at the numbers now. A 33 and a 55. What number goes into both of those? 11. Good. So put 11. Is there a P in both of them? No, so I can't. Okay. Well, let's put in my parentheses where the leftovers go. Okay. 33p with an 11 divided out. Go a little slower, guys. Some of you are answering so quick, no one else has a chance of even thinking about it. So if you've already volunteered, take a break. 33p divided out of 11. It could be like on the side of your paper, it would look like this. 33 divided by 11. P divided out of nothing. So that's where people are getting the 3p from. $55 with 11 divided out. 5. And you have to put the plus sign. Okay. All right. 7's tricky. Those are large numbers. 56, 42, and 14. 2 is a number that goes in, but it's not the biggest choice. 14, is it 7? 14 times 4. You guys, 14 goes into them all. 14 goes into them all. Here's what would have happened if I chose 7. Let's do it wrong. Wrong. 7. Then when I would have left my leftovers, I would notice 8x squared minus 6x minus 2. That 8 and 6 and 2 still have a GCF. 2 goes into 8 and 6 and 2. So then I would know, oh, I chose the wrong number. So the wrong way would And this is fine. Then you're like, okay, never mind. It's not 7. Then I would pick 14. So if there's still a GCF after you write your leftovers, that means you could have gone higher. 56 divided out of 14. 4. X squared divided out of, okay, well, x squared. If there's nothing to divide out, you just write what's there. Subtraction sign. 42 divided by 14. 42 divided by 14. Minus 3x. 14 divided out of 14. Just 1, guys. A 1 means that it's itself, like the number is itself. Okay, let's do it. 8, 9, 10, 11. I want you to try. And I'll do like minimal help. Let me tell you something about number 10. If a negative sign leads the polynomial, factor out the negative sign. So I'm going to do negative 6 y to the, I don't know. How many y's do they both have? Sign it in blue or black?
Yeah, sure.
How many y's do they both have? This has 4 of them, that has 3 of them. What do they both for sure have? 3. Now, negative 6 divided by negative 6, that's just 1. I don't really write a 1. I can't, well, I can, but y to the 4th and y to the 3's are taken away. I have y to the 4th and I take out, divide out y third, y cubed. How many y's are left? 1 of them. So y. This is where it's tricky. A positive 36 with a negative 6 divided out. A positive 36 with a negative 6 divided out. 36 divided by negative 6. 36 divided by negative 6 is what? Negative 6. So I'm going to put a minus 6 there. space. Y cubed divided out of y cubed. Y cubed divided out of y cubed. Just nothing. I don't need to put a y. So that, and really, I know I wanted to put a 1 here, but when it leads, like a 1 in front isn't necessary. What did you guys get for number 8? Someone tell me. What did you get for number 8? What did you take out of a 6, a 2, and a 4? A 2, but I didn't need to take out an x because the 4 doesn't have one. So I can't take an x with it. Okay, 6 divided by 2. This is not subtraction. This is division. 6 is 3. X squared divided, there's no x to take out. I leave the x squared as part of my math. Middle term, 2x with a 2 divided out. Just x plus x. Good job. Negative 4 divided by 2. Negative 4 divided by 2. Negative 2. And those are my leftovers. Okay, number 9. A 20, a 5, and a 15. What'd you get? 5? Why can I not do the x? I cannot GCF out an x. Why? Because the what? It's not on all of them. They all don't have an x. 15 does not. So, 20 divided by 5. 4x squared. The x squared stays because I didn't take anything out. 5x divided by 5. 5x divided by 5 would just be an x. See that? 5x divided by 5. Minus sign stays. 15 divided by 5. And yep. 5 times the quantity, 4x squared plus x minus 3. Eighteen c to the 5th minus 9c to the 4th. 18c to the 5th minus 9c to the 4th. What's a common number that comes out of both? 3? No, I could go bigger than 3. 9. Are there any c's in common with both of them? How many c's do they both have? They both have a c to the 4th. 18 divided out of 9. 2. C to the 5th divided out of C to the 4th. C to the 5th divided out of C to the 4th. I have 5 of them, and now I'm taking 4 out. How many are left? Just to see. Good. Look, you guys, this 9C to the 4th matches this 9C to the 4th. This is when I put a 1. Minus 1. Because it's the same thing. Okay. Turn it over. Sorry it's so small. Uh-oh. I'm giving you something that you don't know how to do. Yeah, I can't do it. We can't do this. This is not GCF. There's nothing in common. Huh. Sorry about that. All right. Well, then that means we're going to here. And on here, you're going to factor out any common factors. So keep them in this order, okay? Keep them in this order. The only one that sticks out to me is like 4 and 6. You have to factor out the negative sign first. But and you're going to 16. You know what I want to talk about? I found a really hard one on the back. Should we do it together? 11. So 27 u to the first, v to the fifth, plus 9 u to the fourth, v to the fourth. 27 and 9. What's the GCF of 27 and 9? 3 goes in, you're right. Can you think of anything bigger? 9. How many u's do they both have? And how many v's? So let's go u first. U. This has, hold on, no. This has a 1 here, and this has 4 of them. How many do they both have? They both for sure have 1. So I can only write u to the first. How many v's do they for sure? This one has 5 and this one has 4. They have v to the fourth. Now I'm dividing out slowly. 27 divided by 9. 3. U divided by u. 1. But don't put a 1. V to the fifth and v to the fourth. V5, but divide out V4s. How many are left? Just 1 V. Put the plus sign. 9 divided out of 9. It is a 1. I don't really need the 1, but I'm not going to put it. U to the fourth with a U divided out. There's 4 of them here and 1 of them here. U to the fourth, but take out 1 right there. U cubed. V4 divided out of V4. It's itself. Just a 1. If I were to distribute this, I would get what I started with. I don't want you to distribute it, but that would be a way that you could check and get every question correct. Distributing it and saying, did I get what I started with? Okay. All right, so we are doing 1 through 16. I'll stop the recording.